Hello everyone and welcome back to another video, and today I'm here with a review of the SH Figuarts Son Goku, the legendary Super Saiyan version from the Frieza saga. And I wouldn't be overselling it if I said that this Goku is probably one of the most important figure releases of this year. When this got released, it was so hyped up by the fans because it just looked amazing, and everyone wanted it. And I didn't manage to get a pre-order for it, unfortunately, but fortunately Nin Nin Games had a restock. Shout out to Nin Nin Games. I'm going to link them down in the description below. They had a restock and I managed to get it on that, and with super fast shipping and whatnot, thanks to FedEx, it's here in front of me right now. So yeah, I'm super excited for this, and I just want to get into it. So let's take a closer look at the box quickly before we open the figure. So we've got the typical plastic window here where we can see Goku and all of his accessories. We've got Goku powering up here on the front. We've got some pictures on the side, which I don't know, this is Kamehameha, his foot, and just a picture of him close up. Then we've got some poses on the back. These poses look great, and just your writing and legal stuff and whatever. But yeah, without further ado, let's get this thing open and have a closer look. So guys, here is Goku out of the packaging with all his accessories around him. And the first check that I like to do on the channel is the quality control check. And I can say that there is no quality control issues with this figure or my copy. It's actually perfect. Like, there's nothing wrong with it in any sort of way. Even in terms of like loose joints and whatnot, there's nothing wrong with it. So I'm very happy to say that, because Tamashii Nations and SH Figuarts have been very bumpy recently in terms of their quality. With, for example, like Trunks and some of the Spider-Man figures, it's been a bit up and down. In the One Piece line, I don't even want to get started on the One Piece line, but yeah, it's been very up and down. So I'm very happy to say that this figure is basically perfect on the quality side. And you can see the accessories around him. We're going to take a closer look at them now. We'll start with the alternate head. So we've got the alternate hairpiece, which is the sort of powering up hairpiece. As you can see, it's just sort of flat, and we've seen it in the promotional material quite a bit, so that's looking pretty good. We've got the alternate hair, like the bangs coming down with just one instead of the four, which you can replace with this hairpiece. You also get that hairpiece, which is obviously on the figure. You've got two fisted hands, which is on the figure as well. We've got the face plates, which I'm going to bring in closer now, because these have a great amount of detail on them. I just want to show them off. So we've got the smiling or the smirking one. They're always a good one to have. I think SH Figuarts do well with their sort of smirking faceplates, especially with Trunks and stuff as well. So that looks perfect. It's probably my favourite faceplate out of the bunch. This one, which I know is going to be popular because it's very different in terms of a style for Goku. It's a screaming face, but it's more like square. Not square, like rectangle shape. So it's very different from what they've done in the past with Goku. So I know a lot of people are going to like that one. We've got the sort of gritty teeth one, which also looks good. And notice that there's like scratches and stuff across the face, obviously, because it's like a battle damage type of look, obviously, when he's fighting Frieza and everything is just going mad. So yeah, they've gone for adding scratches and stuff, which I think is a very, very good option. And then I had this all nicely laid out, and now I'm just sort of putting the pieces anywhere. So we've got the fighting stance hands. We get these with basically all of our Goku figures. We've got the open hands. Oh no, sorry. Have I picked up the wrong hands here? I think I've mixed matched hands. Yeah, I've mixed matched hands. Hold on, I need to find the right hand for this one. I think I found it. Yeah, cool. So we've got these open hands. We've got these open hands with the sort of closed fingers there, which look pretty decent. They're mainly fighting stance hands, really, by the looks of it. We've got the hands with the peg, which is for the ball for the Kamehameha. And yeah, we've got two of those, so you can switch sides. And then we've got open palm hands. So it's pretty much your standards, especially if you're used to SH Figuarts. It's really what you're going to be expecting to get with all these Goku figures. They didn't have any instant transmission hands, which I'm slightly disappointed about, but you know, it's just they never really give him the hands. They do sometimes, but they don't other time, mainly using third-party hands for that. But yeah, like the Kamehameha is also in this. It's nice to have another one of these, a shaded one. As you can see, when it hits the light, you can clearly see the look like white or like the really, really, really light blue contrasting with the just the translucent blue. And I went ahead and put all the pegs in because they slightly confused me, so I didn't want to do it on the video. So yeah, but yeah, without further ado, let's just take a closer look at the figure. So the accessories are great, but let's get into the figure itself. So bringing in the figure for a closer look, we'll start off with the head. Looks absolutely fantastic. Obviously, they've gone for the overall bulky look of this figure, which is, you know, it's just, the proportions are amazing. I'm just really impressed. A lot of sharp, you know, like clean cut edges and whatnot, just for muscle definition. And it just looks absolutely fantastic. I don't even know what part to even focus on. So we've got the head. If I just lift that up here so you can get a better look, you see, like I said, the scratches earlier, there's a few scratches in there to show off the battle damage. You've got the body, which obviously the scratches going all around the body, which I can see people sort of maybe customing and, you know, highlighting and stuff to sort of define these more. Yeah, but overall it just looks fantastic. And then you've got the ripped part of his torso gi, which goes over the you know, which he's usually wearing, but obviously since he's powered up, it's ripped off, and the legs sort of all ripped, and it's just defined. The sculpt work is amazing. I can't get over how good the sculpt work is, especially here, like the way that they've got sort of the fabric flowing and stuff, and the way it's sculpted. You do want to be careful with this. They're not delicate as such, but, you know, if this takes a tumble or something, these could break off, which I don't think you'll be able to notice too much as it's already battle damage, but, you know, this sculpt work is amazing, so you don't want to mess it up. You've got his belt as well, which also has tears in it, and this obviously turns like normal, but we'll get into the articulation later. And then you've got his sort of wrist gauntlets, which also have tears in it. So everything is just battle damage to highlight, you know, the fighting aspect of it. And I really hope we get a freezer to go along with this. Like, I really, it would be stupid of them not to do that. But yeah, this thing just looks absolutely phenomenal. Obviously, coming down to the boots, actually, I just missed those out. The boots actually look like a different colour to how we've usually seen his boots painted. The blue looks a bit darker. The yellow looks a bit more brighter. Also, the red looks a bit darker. So they've done a little bit of a difference there. And there's also a lot of shading and stuff. And, you know, the blue overall is darker than what we've seen on normal Goku figures in the past, by the looks of it. And the orange seems to be a bit lighter with shading yellow. So, yeah, they've gone for a bit of a different approach to it, but that's kind of what they need to do instead of just re-releasing, you know, the same Goku figure over and over again. It's nice to have a brand new Goku, but it's just like completely different to what we've seen before. Obviously, the one that you can probably compare it to the most is the Awakening Goku, which obviously got its original release, which I actually have, so I'll be comparing that later on in the video. And it also got its event exclusive release, which I feel slightly sorry for you if you picked that up, because then this got revealed straight after. There seems to be a common pattern with SH Figuarts where they do their event exclusives and then a better version of what they've just done an event exclusive on seems to be revealed later on. So they've done it with this and the Awakening Goku. I know it's not the same thing, but it's very similar to the point where, is there really a difference? There kind of is, but, you know, it's really just a torso piece, which obviously we'll get into later. And then they've done it with also the Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, the Teen Gohan, sorry. So they did that with the 2-pack with the Ghost Goku. And then they've now released the pre-orders for the 3.0 Gohan, which that looks amazing as well. I can't wait to go and pick that up too. So yeah, overall this figure looks absolutely phenomenal. So now let's get into the articulation, then we'll get into the accessories, and then we'll do the comparison. One thing I just want to talk about before we move on to the articulation, because I'll forget. Everyone's big problem with this figure when it first got released, which was like last week when people started getting their copies, was they were saying that the torso here, the upper torso, was a different shade of sort of the skin tone to the lower part and the arms. And you can kind of see it in the video a little bit, but you can't really tell that much. Like, it doesn't look like that big of a difference. And to the eye, just me looking at it in person, I can't really tell unless I'm looking at it maybe in a certain way where the light's hitting it in like from a certain angle. I'm gonna add a picture where I'll what I'll do, because what I did earlier is I took a picture of the figure with the flash on, right like up close, and then you could really see the difference there, but it did take a bit of effort, and that probably says more good about that aspect than bad, to say that it's not as bad as you think. The way that people are hitting it with light is just to highlight that, and you wouldn't usually have this figure under that type of lighting. Like, even now under the review station, it's under very harsh ring light, and you can't really see a massive difference. You can probably see a little bit of a difference, but you can't see a massive difference. So yeah, that's just one point I wanted to bring up. It was everyone's main gripe about the figure, but I don't really see too much of an issue with it. Right guys, so getting into the articulation, the head moves up about this far. Really, really good. I'm very happy with that. Moves down about that far. Also very good. Neck also moves. These two move as one unit, as I always like to say. Neck also tilts. The head also tilts. Getting amazing range of motion. Head can turn. It can probably do a 360 turn, but just for the sake of the review, I'm not going to turn it all the way. The torso can move back about that far. Very good. Forward a lot, like a lot. But then obviously the waist articulation also helps with that, since that's crunching as well. Then we've got, you know, your sort of torso motion where it's going to move side to side. It's going to tilt also. These articulation points are very, very crucial, especially for like fluent posing and stuff. So yeah, very, very, very good with that. It also manages to sort of articulate without sort of breaking the sculpt as well, which is very good. Coming to the arms can go up that far. They can do a 360 turn. I'm just going to move the head out of the way. Do a 360 turn. They're a bit stiff, a little bit stiff, not too stiff. They're definitely going to move though. You've got your butterfly joints, which they are actually stiff. Like, they're not that stiff actually, but they're a little bit stiff. But they'll loosen over time, as they do with most figures. We've got the bicep swivel. Very good. We've got your elbows, double jointed. Very good range of motion there too. Then you've got your typical SH Figuarts hands with the wrist pegs. Sorry, the ball pegs in the wrist. And they'll hinge as well, up and down. Bit restricted by the gauntlets. That's one thing I'll say. But that was always going to be a sort of, I wouldn't say an issue, but that was always going to be the case with this. Then if we come down to the waist, I'm trying to cover all the articulation points because this is very intricate and it's obviously a new body. The waist can swivel, as you can see. The waist has like an insane amount of like just motion to it with crunching and whatnot. I'm just very impressed. This piece is also going to move with it, since it's a sort of, it's not a loose piece, but it's just sort of there. It's not really held in place with like glue or whatever, which is good, because obviously you don't want that to really get out of the way. Get in the way. Then you've got the sort of belt here, which is going to swivel from side to side. It's not going to go, well, it probably can go up if you just move it out the way or to the side, because of these sort of rips here that sort of catches on it. But yeah, you can just maneuver it out the way. I'm sure it'll pop off as well if it's just a ball joint. Then coming to the legs, the leg kick out that far, kick back that far. Very impressed with that. I haven't actually messed around with the articulation a lot behind the scenes, so you're kind of getting my first reactions for a lot of it. Right, okay. Here we go. There we go. Splits, absolutely perfect. Like, that is the type of range of motion you want with these, with the legs. So that's great. Then we've also got a D swivel on the ball peg at the top, and I think this is supposed to be a thigh swivel here. Mine isn't swiveling just because of it's swiveling at the top. Sorry, I went off screen there for a second. So it's swiveling at the top here at the ball joint, but it's not swiveling at the thigh. Oh no, it is on this one. It's just not on this one, which I'm sure can be broken in, probably just because it's a new figure. But it is supposed to swivel at the thigh, which is pretty good too. This one is doing it. And coming down to the knees, we've got the double jointed knees, which go back about that far, which is really good. Then coming down to the feet, I've already got the feet sort of like already back just so I can show you, because it's a bit hard to do on camera, just purely because there's a ball peg in there, which I think you can see. There's a ball peg in there, which moves forward and back, and then you can hinge the foot at the ball joint. So it gives you sort of a good range of motion to sort of have him in standing poses where he'll like be stable while he's standing, and also have him in like let's say flight poses or something like that, where you need to have his feet back. So yeah, it goes that far back, about that far back, and then that far forward, which always seems to be the case with Goku figures. Their feet are decent, but they're not the best, where they get caught on the top of the boot, just purely because that's how Goku's design is, and you can't really do anything about that. I'm sure they've tried, but still a very good range of motion. I think adding the ball peg and adding for a bit of room to move that around is a good idea. But overall, I'm very impressed with the articulation. The articulation's good, the look of the figure's good. It's very, very good so far. So yeah, with that, let's move on to sort of trying out some of his accessories, because he comes with some very unique looking accessories. So changing some of Goku's accessories over, we've got the smiling face or the smirking face with the alternate frontal hairpiece, which has the one bang of hair coming down instead of the four. Just a personal preference here. I don't really like how this one bang hairpiece just covers up most of the face. Like, it looks okay and it'll be good for photography. I do agree on that, but I feel like it just doesn't allow you to have one bang coming down and the faceplate fully showing off. So that's probably like just a minor issue that I personally have with the figure. But I probably won't be having this on display with this anyway. I'll probably just use it for photography. I'll switch out something now just to show you how this is working. What I want to try is the screaming faceplate. These faceplates go in very securely, by the way, which is good. I want to try the screaming faceplate with the hairpiece that I just had on, just purely because this is a larger faceplate, it might work better. Oh no, it still covers one eye. Yeah, I like it, but purely just for photography purposes. I don't think I'll be having it on display with this. But the next thing I want to do is I want to show off the second hairpiece. So I'll just switch to that now. So here's Goku with his second hairpiece on with the screaming face. And this looks absolutely phenomenal. I can't believe how well this came out. I don't usually say this, but I think I want a second copy, just to have one like this and one with the normal hairpiece on, because this is just, it's absolutely amazing. And that's really all I can say about this. I think they've done it so well, and the art style, like the art style as well. Yeah, I think art style. Just the art style, the way they've changed it slightly, so it's just they put more effort into it to make it look more accurate to how it looked in anime. And yeah, all I have to say is well done, really, to SH Figuarts for this. And just want to show you the Kamehameha with the hand pegged into it. So that's how that usually works. They've done it a few times before with some of the other figures, but yeah, that's how that usually works. So then you just peg it into there. And I'll be posting more of this figure on my TikTok and Instagram and stuff, so you can go check that down below in the description. But yeah, this looks great. let's get to some comparisons so we can see how we look compared to other Gokus. So here is our first comparison, a bit of a triple comparison here, because a lot of my collection is kit bashed at the moment, head swaps and whatnot, just purely because that's how I like to display some of my figures. Like, for example, the only reason I got an Awakening was, well, I got it off my friend, but the only reason I got an Awakening in the first place was to have this head on it, because I just wanted that. And this was a placeholder for that. So yeah, but I'll be able to make the valid comparisons that I want to. Sorry again if the figures are a little bit dusty. I have a problem with not dusting my shelves, but that problem may soon be resolved, but that's a different video. So yeah, so we've got the mastered UI body with the Awakening head and the Awakening body with the Super Saiyan God head. Just want to make comparisons with the bodies here. Just look how bulky this is compared to these two. This is what this should have been all along, and they could probably remake Awakening with this body and then just add that ripped piece onto the top of it. If they want to make some money, I think a lot of people will buy that, including myself. I'll probably end up buying it. Yeah, and just the Awakening head, I know it's not technically supposed to be the same figure, but it's the same concept, really. I mean, if you look at the heads, it just gives you an idea of how far SH Figuarts have come and the direction they intend to go. Starting with Trunks, they're trying to go for these more blockier, defined proportions and heads on these figures now to make them look a lot more accurate, maybe more manga-like than anime, in my opinion. I feel like the older SH Figuarts do stand well with the anime likenesses, but this just looks phenomenal compared to the both of these. And not to knock these two figures as well, there's no need for me to even have this kit bash anymore, because I've got this. I need to get this head off and put something else on it, which I'll decide at a later date, and then yeah, move that around. This, I always like this, so I'll just keep it as it is. But yeah, that's the first comparison. There's just so much to compare, from the belts to the rips in like the legs and stuff, and the battle damage scars and the heads and stuff. But as you can see, I could go on about it all day, but this comes out on top. Here's another triple comparison with the Trunks and the Gohan. I was going to say Gohan Beast, but this is actually the Ultimate Gohan with the TL Custom Beast head on it. And this main comparison here is just to show off like the new Dragon Ball, what they're trying to do with the new faces, with the more blockier, more square head sculpts and whatnot. They look fantastic, and they make the older figures look slightly outdated, which has it doesn't really sit right with me, purely just because you spent a lot of time collecting the older figures just for these newer ones to come about, and just to really make the other ones look so outdated. Like, I want new versions of Gogeta with this kind of style. I want new versions of Vegeta with this kind of style. You know, like, a lot of characters need to be redone. Goku Black, you know, a lot of characters need to be redone this type of style. And these figures on the shelf will highlight it even more. But is it a welcome problem? Because our shelves will look, and our collections will look more, look better at the end of the day. But yeah, these two look phenomenal next to each other, especially these two. I mean, you can see that they're exactly the same style, and I think that's the sort of future with SH Figuarts Dragon Ball, especially with that new Vegeta that's coming out, the Namek one. He's looking a bit more square as well. I think I'll refer to him as square, a little bit more blocky. And yeah, I think it's a welcome look for most of them. But yeah, these three look great next to each other. Here is the next triple comparison, and I notice as these comparisons are going along, more dust is starting to build up across the review space, so I'll have to clean that up later. But we've got the Vegeta, I don't know why I'm pointing at him saying Vegeta. We've got Vegeta over here, and we've got Frieza over there. So these two will be next to each other on the shelf until we've got a more buff Frieza, which they're definitely going to make. Like I said at the start, I think I said it at the start at least, they would be stupid not to make one. But yeah, these two will be in posts with each other and stuff, and on the shelf next to each other. Yeah, for now, until we get a more buff Frieza. And I just wanted to make a comparison between a newer, or like a Vegeta from this year, and this Goku here. This is, I think, the last. Obviously, this is head swapped. The Super Saiyan head is on my superhero Vegeta. But I think this is the last we're gonna really see of. I don't want to say this is the last we're gonna see, but I think this is marking the end of the more like smoother style Dragon Ball figures and moving on to the more blockier, more, I want to say, illustrated style of Dragon Ball figures. So yeah, I think because we're gonna get a new Vegeta with the Namek one, and I feel like we're gonna get some other, like, I don't know, maybe some different versions of them, especially with those Tonson Vegeta heads coming out constantly. They're obviously replacing. Obviously, if I had one of those, you'd be able to see that looks very similar to this style. So yeah, hopefully I'll get one in the future and I'll be able to make that comparison at some point. But yeah, these three also look great next to each other. This just looks great next to anything, to be honest with you. But the next comparison I'm very excited for. So here's a comparison that I was really excited for. It's the new Goku next to the Kong Super Saiyan 3 Goku, which I also reviewed on the channel. You can go and check that out after this video. But yeah, these two look... This is what I'm saying. I'm saying with every figure. These two look great next to each other. These three look great next to each other. But these two, I actually mean it. Because they're both 3.0s as well, and they're more defined, and the new look that they're going for, they go hand in hand with each other, really. And yeah, I can't wait to get both of these on the shelf. They need to make more styles of Goku like this with the newer head design and whatnot. And it really started off, I think, with Turles, maybe the superhero figures, where they started doing the more blockier, sharper edges, defined, and it led to Turles this year, which he looked great. I would try and get him off the shelf, but I think the shelf will collapse. I'm sure he'll appear in the top 10 figures of the year video, so yeah, we'll do a comparison then. But yeah, it started with him, and now it's all the way. They've made this Goku. They just need to keep going. I've seen head swaps with this on this. I can't do it because the neck peg on my Kong Super Saiyan 3 is actually stuck in the head. So when I take the head off, the neck has no peg in it. So one of them will have to get heated up, and I'm scared to heat up either of them as of yet. I'll probably work on that behind the scenes, and I might do head swap at some point, which you'll be able to see on my Instagram. I'm always plugging my Instagram and TikTok, but yeah, these two look just fantastic next to each other. I think this is one of my favorite SH Figuarts. Just this definitely the favorite, like my most favorite figure that I've reviewed on the channel so far. 100%. Like, it's amazing. But this could be one of my favorite SH Figuarts of all time, which probably suggests that I am going to name this figure of the year. So, but this will be a contender as well next to it. So we'll see, I guess. But yeah, with that, those are all the comparisons I'm going to do. I know I didn't do a lot as I usually do, but there's so many things that you can compare this to, and those were the main ones that stood out for me. So yeah, let's get to the final thoughts now. Right, guys, so to sum up my final thoughts on this legendary Super Saiyan Goku, maybe they should have called it Full Power. Maybe this is the real Full Power Goku. Obviously, we always refer to the Full Power Goku, but maybe this is the real Full Power Goku, because it just has everything that you'd want out of it. The articulation is amazing. The look is great. The accessories are good. The one small complaint I have is the second frontal hairpiece for the second head. The one bang hairpiece. It's just that it covers a lot of the face. Maybe some people are like that. Maybe it's just a preference thing, I think. But that's not a big enough of a complaint for me to even like consider it to be a real complaint. I think it's, yeah, like I said, it's just a preference thing. But everything else is perfect. The quality of it's great. Like, it's amazing. The articulation, it's fluent. It's like old. When I first started collecting SH Figuarts, and the reason why I really, really enjoyed collecting them, you know, like how fluid the joints were and how good the articulation is. And this is just a step up from that. This is like the new generation of SH Figuarts. And I think this might grow to be one of my favorite figures in my collection. So for that reason, I personally have to give it a 10. The difference in the torso color is not enough for me. especially under my lighting and to my eye and stuff, it's not enough for me to even consider that to be, again, a really big complaint. I know it's a problem for others, and I think it looks the same on every copy. So I think, again, that's going to be another more of a preference thing, or whether it bothers you as much. I've dealt with it in the past with the mastered UI Goku. So like I said, I'm not really fussed, and like I said, it's not a big enough of a difference for me to even care about it, because there's so many other factors here that outshine. So yeah, like I said, articulation amazing, the look amazing, accessories great. It's just amazing, and I would definitely recommend picking it up. I know a lot of people got turned away from it just purely because of the torso color change thing. Don't get turned away from that, because that shouldn't put you off, because once you get it in hand, I can assure you your opinion will definitely change on it. But yeah, that's really all I can say. If you get a chance to pick this up, whether it's, your regional release, Big Bad Toy Store, whatnot, whatever, in the UK, Forbidden Planet, I will try and find a UK link where this is in stock. I can't make any promises because this is a popular figure, but I'll try and find a link, and I'll leave that down in the description below. Just try and pick it up, or if you are lucky enough to get it on a Japan release, maybe in a restock. I think all the restocks have happened now, so I don't think we'll see any more restocks. But yeah, if you're lucky enough, I would recommend definitely picking this up. 10 out of 10. And he will be in my figure of the year list. What place he'll make, you'll have to find out. But that's all really for this video. I am back with the videos. I didn't address it at the start of the video because I just wanted to get into the review, but I am back with the videos. I have been busy recently, and I'm back, for the Christmas holidays and whatever. So I'll be making a lot of videos of the figures that are coming out towards the end of the year. Obviously, we've got the No Way Home Marvel Legends stuff coming out. I'm going to a Comic-Con on the weekend, so I might make a video if I pick up anything from there. I'm trying to think if I've got any other pre-orders maybe coming out. There's a lot of stuff coming out, basically, and there's obviously figure of the year list, so that's obviously a big one. So you'd want to stick around for that, so make sure you subscribe. Don't forget to leave a like on the video. Don't forget to check out all my other videos if you did enjoy this one. Don't forget to share with all your family and friends, and I'll see you in the next one.